Hello. This video is about what I'm doing with this business moving forward. Because one thing I want to make sure that I'm clear about is that I don't currently have a business model. That is to say, I don't have a plan to make money. Right now, I'm doing this to learn as quickly as possible so that I can better arm myself with the knowledge I need in order to make a very profitable business. I'm not losing any money right now. I'm definitely making money, and I'm making more money than I've ever made dropshipping before. But that is not my focus at the moment, okay? So one thing that I have done recently is, okay, now I have 70,000 in stock listings, right? And there's a couple concepts that I'm exploring. There's this concept of regularly posting items. A lot of people believe, or at least talk about, that you need to post items regularly and that boosts your sales. I want to explore this and understand if that is actually true, and at least develop my sense of it. Because with optimization, you can't just suddenly post everything. So it kind of works to believe that way because you post a couple things every single day, and then over time you develop a big store. However, with bulk, it is entirely possible to just post 60,000-70,000 items in a week and then just see what happens for a couple months, right? But if what I was just talking about is true, if you get hurt by not posting every day, then that's not a good thing to do. You want to spread the posting out, right? But how do you figure this out? Because it's so hard you see all this data and a lot of it's really random and you can make some assumptions about it, but how do you know that it's not just happen chance, Again, it falls down to that attribution error thing. You have to realize that you are a human and your ability to understand and comprehend randomness is null and void. A part of us will always assume that, what is the phrase? Correlation is not causation. Many of us see two things, we see that they're correlated, and a part of us will take that as them causing one another. But we can't know that for sure, right? And especially with dropshipping. So things have been going well. As you can see, some of my big days are almost $2,000. That's insane, And my average days now are more than $1,000, which is great. This is definitely I'm making enough sales and I know that it's covering my costs. So I'm not losing money by doing all of this experimenting. But I think moving forward, what I'm going to do, because I was just I could just keep getting limit increases, but it's going to get hard to actually max my limits. Now one more limit increase, right? I have 70,000 items and I haven't even maxed my limits at the moment. If I get one more limit increase, which I'm eligible for in 13 days, so I still have plenty of time, it'll be 130,000 items. That's an additional 45,000 items. That's going to take a while. And then 2 or 3 limit increases away from that, I'm going to have to every month be adding 100,000 items. And then my eBay bill is going to go up a whole bunch. I want to be careful. I don't want to just put myself in a situation where I get overworked and burned out. I need to be patient and learn as much as possible without having too much risk, right? So I think what I'm going to do is kind of stop trying to keep maxing my listings. Obviously, I'm going to do that in the future, but now I'm going to focus on getting dollar limit increases. So I'm going to be perfectly happy with my 90,000 items for now, but I'm going to try and get a much higher dollar limit. So then I can start experimenting with more expensive items. Because I've done the bulk so far, this bulk kind of theory, most of it is done with cheap items that cost me 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks, right? So you need more of those to successfully sell in order to make it worth selling. It worth all of the thousands of listings that you post. But what if I'm posting items that are 100 bucks, 200 bucks, 300 bucks? Before, I was hesitant about this because the business was much smaller and I didn't have the cash flow. Because if the biggest item I ever sold was $1,400, right? And it was a $1,100 item, so I made 200 bucks on the sale, or 150, something like that. And I immediately took the item down, and I got really lucky and nothing went wrong. But if something had gone wrong with that item, it would have immediately taken $1,400 out of my cash flow. I couldn't have handled that. There is no way. Even now, when I'm 10, 15 times the size that I was when that sale happened, Even now, I'd be in a lot of trouble if $1,400 just disappeared out of my cash flow, even if I was getting 900 of it back. So I don't want to have items that are that big, but I do want to have like 10, 20, 30,000 items that are like $100, $200, $300 and start experimenting with that price range more. So that's probably what I'm going to do moving forward. Instead of trying to just get more and more and more and more listings, I'm going to focus on more expensive listings and see what I can learn about that. All right? This video is just updating you about that, telling you what I'm doing with my business moving forward. I don't think there's anything else at the moment. I'm just about to go to Starbucks. I usually don't. So I work at Starbucks. I work 3 to 4 days a week. I just cut my hours down, so it should be 3 days a week. And the idea is that I can leave by the end of this year. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I worked a salary job and I got really sick and I had to quit. And it also worked out because like I wasn't happy there. I wanted to figure out how to work from home. And what I needed was something that was flexible so that when I needed more money, I could up my hours. But when I needed more free time, I could lower my hours so I could work on my business more, right? And Starbucks is perfect for that. It doesn't pay you very well, but compared to all other retail, they are incredible. They do pay well compared to retail. Like I live in Fairfax in Virginia, so this area is pretty expensive. It's one of the most expensive areas to live in the country. Not the most, but one of. Starbucks here starts paying you $12 an hour, whereas most other like retail jobs pay like 9 or 10. So it does pay a little bit more, and it's definitely helpful. But yeah, I'm about to go over there, so that'll be fun. Usually I don't do much recording on days that I work at Starbucks. Most of my recording happens on days that I'm off. So I usually do like drop shipping stuff and then do recordings. Although sometimes if I'm in like a really good mood, then I feel like recording stuff because I know that the enthusiasm is really like infectious and it's good. And I think that what people need less of is actually being told what to do and more just how to have a positive outlook and I need to help people figure out how to teach themselves, you know? Instead of me teaching you, I need to help you learn how to find the information that you need yourself, because it's all there. It's all on the internet, you know? Anyway, sorry, this was a bit of a rambly episode, but I wanted to get something out so I can kind of get back into the habit of regularly doing these videos, all right? Thanks a bunch. I really appreciate your viewership, especially you. This is the last part of the video, and you stayed until the end. Most people only view for 4 minutes on average. So good job.